publications. He is also recipient of many, many awards. If I start listing all the awards, I think it'll take the better part of the hour that we have to. Of course, he is Padma Shri. He was awarded by Government of India for the service that he has provided to the Indian community and also helping India. He owns, I would say, 20 or 30 large practices, and of course all the real estate that goes with it. More than that, he is a very kind person who treats his employees and his doctors very well. So that is why he is successful. So I would say exactly the same thing as Rahul Shukla was saying. I mean, he does exactly the same thing. So what is that? Indian DNA? Is it? We all treat the employees and people who work with us like family. They are all family to him. So Sudhirji, you give your words of wisdom.
Thank you. Well, good morning. It's nice to see few but very enthusiastic, very eager friends who like to listen to us. Dear friends, technically, it might be unusual for a doctor to be speaking about promoting entrepreneurship, technology, and business. Then again, we are living in the interesting time in which career and profession has multiple platforms. The measures of success today has become multifaceted. In 50s and 60s, the emphasis was on specialization. If you were an engineer, you remained an engineer all your life. If you were an academician, you retired as an academician. And if you were an actor, you had never think of writing a book or starting a restaurant, you remained actor. But since 90s, diversification has become the name of the game. A scientist cannot afford to be a great just at science. He or she also has to be a business person, possibly a good writer, become lobbyist, and definitely has to look good on television. Similarly, if you real estate magnate, you should be able to do successful reality show, put your name on the ties and stakes and universities, and also take over national party, political party from low energy leaders. Even a career in medicine, in order to successful, cannot remain linear. Take for instance, Siddharth Mukherjee, an oncologist, become a Pulitzer Prize winning author. A surgeon, Atul Gawande, become best-selling writer. Columnist Sanjay Gupta, a renowned neurosurgeon, become world's most recognized medical correspondents in CNN. So it is not that unusual that I am a physician, entrepreneur, businessman, publisher, and philanthropist. And I even try to look good on television. So how does this happen? One has to have ambition, enterprise, and purpose. But most of all, never forget where you came from, where you began, and consider success as a journey and not destination. In other words, success can be only measured by what we achieve next. Sure, there are times when one is tempted to think, I have arrived, and feels smug thinking I made it. Sometimes it did cross my own mind too, like when I received Padma Shri Award from Government of India, or when I accompanied President Clinton to Gujarat earthquake, or when I traveled to India as a part of the President Obama delegation. For a young boy raised in the several small towns in Gujarat and Maharashtra, my father being civil servant was often transferred. To find myself in the presence of most powerful people in the world seems like an accomplishment. And for someone who used to study sitting in the public parks of dusty towns and sometimes on badly lit sidewalks, to be able to address to a student of prestigious American university, Walton, might seem like something. For a young Indian medical student from 70s to be able to do residency at world-renowned St. Bartholomew Hospital, which was founded by Henry II in 11th century, and Royal London Hospital to be only Asian among the 600 doctors in that hospital then, to be told by seniors and peers that I was early than my time at St. Bartholomew Hospital in early 70s. To be able to move on from there across the Atlantic to the America and work and teach at the prestigious New York Medical College is no means achievement for young medical graduate from backwaters of Gujarat. But at no point of time have I looked back to savor the moment. I have always looked ahead to what next. The reason is, as Albert Einstein said, not to become man of success, rather become a man of values. And value here is constantly realizing one's potential and keep on moving the goalpost. For instance, let me tell you a small story about how I started and become a largest allergy practice owned by one person in North America. I started my career as a lucrative private practice in New Jersey, Hoboken, New Jersey. But then, once it becomes very lucrative, within a couple of years, I started getting bored. So I said, what is next? So on one day, on my whims, I sent 20 letters to the allergists above the age of 65 who are close to retirement, asking them if they had interest in selling their practice. Only two responded out of 20, but as they say, a great thing saves small beginning. By dint of hard work and good business practices, that includes how you treat your employee. Today I own more than 26 practices in New York, New Jersey area, and it's the largest in the country and is about to go on the Wall Street. And with the 200 plus doctors, nurses, nurse practitioners, physician assistants working for me. So when I was young, I thought that money was the most important thing in the life. Now that I am old, I know that it is. That may be true for people who wants to be just rich, but to be successful, you need to have loftier goals. Success did not come to me because I was aiming at beginning just to become a rich. It came to me by creating the wealth and sharing the spoils. For instance, the two practices that I first bought soon blossomed into over 2 dozen because of the way I treated doctors, staff that came along. I asked soon to be retired doctor to continue to work as long as they want to work and as little they want to work. Many of them worked for many years and prospered along with me even after selling their own practice. In fact, the first practice I bought was in Highland Park, which is very orthodox Jewish town. And the doctor, he worked till the day he passed away. He worked till 5 p.m. for my practice, the one he sold to me, and he passed away at 10 p.m. at that same night from the severe heart attack. So, and at the age of the 89. So then surprisingly what I found out that he left his will and in will he stated that please make sure that Sudhir, means myself, should become pallbearer of his funeral. And that is a great honor, being a foreigner, being a Hindu, to be a pallbearer of Orthodox Jewish funeral procession. And that shows a compliment, or how can you measure that on the success scale. Trust me when I say this, how you treat people on your way up will determine how far high you can go. Success is always a collaborative, even if leadership is your prerogative. President Obama was right when he said, "You did not build that," because he meant you did not build that alone. There is always someone who gave you a helping hand. In my case, a complete stranger gave me a break that opened up the world to me. Of course, it is taken for granted that you are capable, hardworking, enterprising, but still one needs that crucial break at the pivotal time in the life. To me, that came in the form of the WHO consultant who was visiting Ahmedabad Civil Hospital, liked my work, and assumed a role of mentor for me. He not only asked me to apply for residency at London's prestigious hospital, St. Bartholomew Hospital, but as a member of selection board, he overcome the board reluctance to hire a greenhorn from the third ward. So the key to success is kindness, giving and receiving, because it will lead to all kind of good and great things. Giving and sharing are building blocks of next success. Well, I knew about it even without going to business school. I learned it during my business hours of life. People forget that sharing is also a part of growing. When you reach the stage of your life when you can afford to share and give back, it opens up new vistas even at this age. That is why, apart from regular philanthropic activities, I have become a publisher of newspaper with a clear intention of giving back to the Indian American community. And those four newspaper, which was kind of okay newspaper 6 years ago when I took it over, and how I took it